Hi everyone, I hope you are keeping really well. As many of you know, I've recently moved house. We've been in this house now for a few weeks and we are starting to settle in and it's becoming really homey. I still can't quite believe that we're here though. I wake up in the morning and I look out the windows and there's so much nature everywhere. I can't describe how it feels and how inspired I am at the moment. And I'm itching to get back into my art practice, but I have needed to spend some time actually getting the space set up. So I've started doing that. You'll see I've got some furniture here, but I don't have a lot of my art supplies yet. But that's about to change because this morning, Richie and I went down to our other studio. We have an off-site studio that's about 25 minutes away from the house. And I went there and had a look at all the supplies that I have, and I've loaded up the back of my car to bring some stuff into this space. But it is a bit tricky. I'm not quite sure how best to use the spaces. So what I'm thinking at the moment is that I'll probably use this space mainly for smaller pieces. So paper pieces and working in my journals and sketchbooks. I'm not sure that I'll be working on bigger canvases here, although time will tell. So before I go down to my car and get the supplies out, let me show you around the space. So I have my art desk here, and then over in this corner, I have the cozy corner. And this is something that I've always wanted to have, a nice comfy chair to sit down and think about what I'm doing in my art, flick through a few books, have a bit of a rest and gather inspiration. And you can already see that Spencer has claimed this chair. He's actually been sleeping up here and spending a lot of time in the space, which I think is a very good omen. So I'm very happy about that. So in this space over here, I have my work desk. So I have my computer set up so that way, when I have things over on my art desk and they're drying, I can pop over here and answer a few emails and things like that. And I've always wanted to have that kind of working triangle. So if I stand here, I'm kind of in arm's reach of everything. I have my computer area, my art space, and my cozy inspiration corner. So we'll see how that works, but I'm very excited to get stuck in and start making some art. So with that said, let's head down to my car and bring in some of those art supplies. I think just one more thing I'm going to bring up for now, because one of the things I have been thinking about is not bringing too much stuff into this space. So I'm trying to keep it kind of minimal. I think this is minimal. Richie would probably disagree with me, but anyway, one more thing. I'm going to get quite a workout going up and down these stairs, I think, with my studio being up in this loft kind of area. But I think I probably need that, so let me carry on. Okay. Whew. I'm a little bit out of breath. I think I should probably be worried about that fact. Now I'll be getting lots of exercise in anyway here because we live near 2 national parks with excellent walking trails, so there's really no excuse. Plus we have a dog that needs to be walked every day. So anyway, I can almost hear Richie in my ear saying, did you take Cooper for a walk today? No, I didn't, but I am getting this space set up, so that's a good thing. So I've rearranged everything and I've got things in kind of where I think I want them, or at least for now. And I've brought up the main kind of work that I'll be working on. So I have in front of me here my sketchbook where I have been doing mixed media spreads using acrylic paint and various pens and pastels and things like that. So I'll definitely be doing more of this type of work up in this space. And I can't wait to kind of bring in some bird imagery and some other kind of floral motifs and things like that. So that's one journal that will definitely be getting a workout. And over here I have a portfolio folder with some of my watercolor pieces. And this is the other type of work that I think I'll be doing a lot of in this area. So I haven't done any watercolor work for a while, and it's getting hot here in Australia, and that's usually when I start to reach more for my watercolors, because the acrylic paint dries so fast it gets a little bit harder to work with. So I'll be diving back into these as well. So I'll leave that there, and I'll just talk a little bit about how I've set up the space and what supplies I've brought in. I want to try and be fairly minimal and challenge myself to just work with what I have rather than having loads of supplies around me. So I've brought in my tray, which I use all the time, which has my favourite watercolours, inks, oil pastels, Neocolor 2 crayons and soft pastels. I've also got a basket here that has my favourite pencils and pens. So I have my Micron pens, my Poscas, and some lead pencils, and a few little basic things, an eraser, masking tape, sharpener. And over here I have some of my brushes. So I've brought in a set of my favourite kind of acrylic brushes, which are the Princeton Catalyst brushes. And I have some rough, scruffy brushes there and some watercolour pencils. And over here I have my watercolour brushes. So these are Princeton Neptune brushes. So that should do me for pretty much any kind of art that I want to make. And what else have I done? So that's that. I think I can do a lot. I have paper over here, so various watercolour pads. I also have my Alex drawers from IKEA where I can store pieces flat, and I also have other papers in there. And I'll just show you here, I moved this shelf around a little bit. And at the moment, I've just got some acrylic paints. So these are all Golden brand paints. So I've been trying them out lately. I usually use the Matisse brand, which is an Australian brand, but a lot of my students use Golden, so I'm giving them a go at the moment. And I have very simple mediums here, gesso, clear gesso. I have a matte gel medium by Golden, which is what I mostly use for when I'm doing collage work. I have a wax here, a wax medium so that I can seal my journal pages when they're done. And I have a fixative as well. So a workable fixative so that if I'm using smudgy supplies like soft pastel or charcoal or graphite, I can fix the supplies in place and keep working. So I have that. And over here, I've brought in some pieces that I want to finish. I've been working on my green series over the last few months, and I have all these green paintings. So most of these are actually pretty much finished. I want to seal them and do any finishing touches. So I've only brought these in to challenge myself to actually finish them rather than start something new. Famous last words. They are so going to sit there and gather dust, aren't they? Anyway, so that's my green series. I actually have more green paintings in the studio, but I thought I'd start with, what have I got there? 6 pieces to finish off. And what else? I brought in some books. My favourite books are here over on the table. They're something that I like to flick through just before I begin a painting. And I have my magazines. I've used one of the crates to store my favorite magazine. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how everything is set up, and I love sharing the behind the scenes with you, but I'm going to wrap it up now so that I can finally get to making some art and enjoying this new space.